The term cardiomyopathy refers to a condition affecting the liver's ability to process insulin. B. Inflammation of the lungs caused by infection. C. Disease of the heart muscle that affects its ability to pump blood. D. Buildup of fluid in the spinal cord. The correct answer is C. A disease of the heart muscle that affects its ability to pump blood. Explanation. Cardiomyopathy is a term derived from medical roots. Cardio, heart, myo, muscle, and pathy disease. It refers to a range of conditions that affect the structure and function of the heart muscle, potentially leading to heart failure, arrhythmia, or sudden cardiac arrest. Understanding this term helps insurance professionals assess cardiac-related claims and underwriting risks. Source: GE2000715. Introduction to medical terminology. Which of the following conditions is most likely to be associated with the respiratory system? A. Osteoporosis. B. COPD. C. Diabetes mellitus. D. Epilepsy. The correct answer is B. COPD. Explanation. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, is a progressive lung condition that obstructs airflow and makes breathing difficult. It includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis and is often caused by long-term exposure to harmful substances such as cigarette smoke. It is a respiratory system disorder and may influence insurance underwriting, especially for life or health coverage. Source: GE2000715. Major body systems and related terminology. In medical terminology, the prefix nephro refers to which organ? A. Liver. B. Brain. C. Kidney. D. Lung. The correct answer is C. Kidney. Explanation. The prefix nephro comes from the Greek word nephros, meaning kidney. It appears in terms like nephrolithiasis, kidney stones, and nephrectomy, surgical removal of kidney. Knowing this root helps insurance professionals interpret medical diagnoses when assessing policies or claims related to renal conditions. Hypertension is a condition primarily affecting which body system? A. Endocrine system. B. Cardiovascular system. C. Nervous system. D. Musculoskeletal system. The correct answer is B. Cardiovascular system. Explanation. Hypertension, commonly known as high blood pressure, directly affects the cardiovascular system. It increases the force of blood against artery walls, potentially leading to heart disease, stroke, or kidney damage. Insurers may view untreated hypertension as a significant health risk during underwriting, especially for life and critical illness policies. Which of the following abbreviations is commonly used in medical records to refer to a stroke? A. COP. B. MSc. EVA. D. IBS. The correct answer is C. CVA. Explanation. CVA stands for cerebrovascular accident, which is the medical term for a stroke. It occurs when blood flow to a part of the brain is interrupted or reduced, leading to brain cell damage. Recognizing this abbreviation is crucial for interpreting insurance applications, especially when assessing pre-existing neurological conditions. Which of the following conditions is classified as a neurological disorder? A. Type 2 diabetes. B. Osteoarthritis. C. Parkinson's disease. D. Hypertension. The correct answer is C. Parkinson's disease. Explanation. Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurological disorder that affects movement and is caused by the degeneration of dopamine-producing neurons in the brain. Symptoms include tremors, stiffness, and impaired balance. This condition has significant implications for underwriting and long-term disability insurance due to its chronic and progressive nature. What does stage 4 cancer generally indicate in medical report? A. The tumor is localized and small. B. The cancer has been cured with treatment. C. The cancer has spread to distant organs or tissues, metastases. D. The cancer is precancerous and not harmful. The correct answer is C. The cancer has spread to distant organs or tissues, metastases. Explanation. Cancer staging helps determine how advanced a cancer is. Stage 4 cancer usually indicates metastatic cancer, meaning it has spread from the original primary site to other parts of the body. This stage is often associated with a poorer prognosis and higher mortality risk, which directly affects insurance underwriting and claims assessments. What is the key difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes in an insurance context? A. Type 2 is always inherited. Type 1 is lifestyle related. B. Type 1 is autoimmune and typically diagnosed in childhood, while Type 2 is often related to lifestyle and occurs in adulthood. C. Type 1 is curable. Type 2 is not. D. There is no difference for insurance purposes. The correct answer is B. Type 1 is autoimmune and typically diagnosed in childhood, while Type 2 is often related to lifestyle and occurs in adulthood. Explanation. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune condition where the body attacks insulin-producing cells and typically develops in younger people. Type 2 diabetes is more common and generally results from insulin resistance due to poor diet, obesity, or inactivity. From an standpoint, type 1 is considered high risk due to early onset and lifelong insulin dependency, while type 2 may be manageable with lifestyle changes and medication. Which of the following might be found in a blood test report and used for insurance underwriting? A. Bone density results. B. ALT, alanine transaminase levels. C. MRI scan images. D. Visual acuity score. The correct answer is B. ALT, alanine transaminase levels. Explanation. ALT is a liver enzyme measured in blood tests. Elevated ALT levels can indicate liver disease or damage, such as from hepatitis, alcohol abuse, or fatty liver. Such findings are relevant to insurance underwriting, especially for life or health policies, as liver function is closely tied to overall mortality risk. Source: GE2000715. Interpreting blood tests and medical reports. A history of schizophrenia in a client's medical report is most likely to raise underwriting considerations for which type of insurance: A. Property insurance. B. Travel insurance for lost luggage. C. Life or income protection insurance. D. Car insurance. The correct answer is C. Life or income protection insurance. Explanation. Schizophrenia is a severe mental health disorder characterized by disruptions in thought processes, perception, and behavior. In the context of insurance, it is considered a material health condition that can affect eligibility, premiums, or exclusions for life income protection or disability insurance. Insurers may require detailed mental health records to assess risk. Source: 000715. Mental health conditions relevant to insurance. In underwriting, a loading is best described as A. A medical test required before approving a policy. B. A reduced coverage amount due to high-risk occupation. C. An additional premium charged to reflect higher risk. D. A policy rider that removes exclusions from a contract. The correct answer is C. An additional premium charged to reflect higher risk. Explanation. A loading is an extra premium added to the standard rate to account for increased risk. For example, someone with high blood pressure may still be offered cover, but at a higher premium. Loadings are a common outcome of underwriting when medical or lifestyle factors deviate from the insurer's preferred risk profile. Which of the following situations most likely reflects the non-standard risk in insurance underwriting? A. A healthy individual with no medical history. B. A person with controlled mild asthma. C. A person recently diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. D. A young adult with no family medical issues. The correct answer is C. A person recently diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Explanation. A non-standard risk refers to an applicant whose health, occupation, or lifestyle falls outside typical underwriting guidelines, leading to possible loadings, exclusions, or deferrals. Type 1 diabetes often requires lifelong insulin use and presents long-term complications, making it a non-standard risk in most insurance contexts. When explaining a medical condition to a client, what is the most appropriate approach for an insurance advisor? A. Use plain language to help the client understand the concept without giving medical advice. B. Provide a diagnosis and recommend medical treatment. C. Quote directly from clinical guidelines to show medical accuracy. D. Avoid discussing the condition altogether to stay compliant. The correct answer is A. Use plain language to help the client understand the concept without giving medical advice. Explanation. Insurance professionals must not give medical advice, but they can and should translate complex medical terms into plain language to help clients understand how a condition might affect their policy. This improves informed decision-making while respecting role boundaries. Source: G000715. Communicating medical concepts to clients. Which of the following must be disclosed during the insurance application process? A. Only current medical conditions, not historical ones. B. Family history of any illness, even if irrelevant. C. All known personal medical conditions, past and present. D. Medications prescribed to family members. The correct answer is C. All known personal medical conditions, past and present. Explanation. Under the principle of utmost good faith, applicants are required to fully disclose any personal medical history that may affect the insurer's decision This includes past illnesses, treatments, surgeries, or chronic conditions. Failure to do so may lead to claim denial or policy cancellation. Source: GE2000715. Obligations regarding medical conditions. What is a key ethical consideration when handling a client's medical information? A. Sharing medical data with all team members to speed up processing. B. Saving health data permanently regardless of relevance. C. Using medical records for marketing future insurance products. D. Obtaining informed consent before accessing or sharing any personal health information. The correct answer is D. Obtaining informed consent before accessing or sharing any personal health information. Explanation. Under the Privacy Act and general ethical standards, it is essential that informed consent is obtained before accessing, using, or sharing any medical data. Clients must know what information is being collected, why, and how it will be used. Breaching this can result in legal consequences and loss of trust. Source: GE2000715. Legal and ethical responsibilities. In a hospital report, the term infarction typically refers to A. Fluid accumulation in joints. B. Chronic lung inflammation. C. Tissue death due to lack of blood supply. D. Bone deterioration from osteoporosis. The correct answer is C. Tissue death due to lack of blood supply. Explanation. Infarction is a medical term meaning localized tissue death, necrosis caused by loss of blood supply. A common example is a myocardial infarction or heart attack which results from blocked coronary arteries. Recognizing such terms is essential in claims review to determine the legitimacy and severity of the condition. An underwriter notices that a client's claim form lists no history of depression, but specialist letter mentions prescription for antidepressants. What should the underwriter consider next? A. Cancel the policy immediately without investigation. B. Assume the medication is unrelated and proceed. C. Flag the case for further review due to possible non-disclosure. D. Automatically approve the claim with note to the advisor. The correct answer is C. Flag the case for further review due to possible non-disclosure. Explanation. This scenario may involve incomplete disclosure or an innocent omission. The presence of antidepressants without prior mention of a mental health condition could signal non-disclosure, requiring further investigation. Insurance professionals must ensure consistency between application forms, medical records, and claims to prevent fraud or misrepresentation. Which of the following actions would be a breach of the Privacy Act? A. Advising a client of the need to disclose their health history. B. Sharing a client's medical information with another department without consent. C. Requesting medical report from client's GP with written approval. D. Storing client medical records in secure access controlled environment. The correct answer is B. Sharing a client's medical information with another department without consent. Explanation. Under New Zealand's Privacy Act, medical information is sensitive, personal data, and cannot be disclosed without the client's informed consent. Sharing health information without permission is direct breach of privacy and confidentiality and can lead to legal and regulatory consequences. Source: GE2000715. Legal and ethical responsibilities. When discussing a serious medical condition with a client, which communication practice is most appropriate? A. Use medical abbreviations to ensure accuracy. B. Minimize the seriousness to avoid upsetting the client. C. Allow the client space to ask questions and respond with empathy. D. Refer the client to internet sources for more details. The correct answer is C. Allow the client space to ask questions and respond with empathy. Explanation. Communicating about health requires sensitivity and empathy. Insurance advisors must create a safe, respectful environment where clients can express concerns and ask questions while remaining factual. Advisors must avoid making light of conditions or using overly technical language. Source: G000715. Communicating medical concepts to clients. Why is it important for insurance professionals to avoid giving medical advice to clients? A. Clients might prefer to speak to their doctor anyway. B. It can lead to claims being processed more slowly. C. It is outside the advisor's professional scope and could lead to liability. D. It violates the client's right to choose an insurer. The correct answer is C. It is outside the advisor's professional scope and could lead to liability. Explanation. Insurance advisors must avoid giving medical interpretations, diagnoses, or treatment suggestions. Doing so could result in professional misconduct or legal liability if the advice is incorrect. Advisors should stick to explaining policy implications and recommend that clients consult medical professionals for clinical concerns. A client says, "I don't understand what ischemic heart disease means. What is the most appropriate response?" It's not relevant to your coverage. Let's move on. B, it means your heart doesn't get enough blood. Talk to your doctor for full details. C, it's complex term. I can't help with that. D, I'm not allowed to explain that. Please Google it. The correct answer is C. It means your heart doesn't get enough blood. Talk to your doctor for full details. Explanation. Advisors should translate complex medical terms into simple language without offering medical advice. This promotes understanding and clarity, helping the client make informed decisions about their insurance while respecting professional boundaries. Referring to doctor for more detail is best practice. Source: GE2000715. Communicating medical concepts to clients. Which of the following best defines informed consent? A. A verbal agreement between a client and doctor about treatment. B. A client signing a blank document for future data sharing. C. A client clearly understanding what information is collected and how it will be used before agreeing. D. The insurer accessing medical records without delay. The correct answer is C. A client clearly understanding what information is collected and how it will be used before agreeing. Explanation. Informed consent means the client is fully aware of what data is being collected, why, how it will be used, and who will have access to it. Before they agree, it ensures transparency and protects the client's rights under the Privacy Act and professional conduct standards. Source: G000715. Legal and ethical responsibilities. What is the purpose of an angioplasty? A. To remove part of the colon. B. To widen narrowed or blocked arteries. C. To remove the appendix. D. To surgically replace a hip joint. The correct answer is B. To widen narrowed or blocked arteries. Explanation. Angioplasty is a minimally invasive procedure used to restore blood flow in blocked or narrowed arteries, often due to coronary artery disease. A small balloon is inflated inside the artery, and sometimes a stent is inserted. It's important for insurance professionals to recognize the term, especially in cardiovascular underwriting. A biopsy is most accurately described as A. A scan that measures bone density. B. A blood test for glucose levels. C. Surgical procedure to remove an organ. D. Sample of tissue taken for examination. The correct answer is D. A sample of tissue taken for examination. Explanation. A biopsy involves taking a small sample of tissue from the body to be examined under a microscope, often to detect cancer or other diseases. Biopsies are common in diagnostic workups and may appear in medical records reviewed by underwriters and claims assessors. Which of the following medications is most likely to increase bleeding risk? A. Statins. B. Anticoagulants. C. Antihistamines. D. Beta blockers. The correct answer is B. Anticoagulants. Explanation. Anticoagulants, e.g. warfarin, heparin, are medications that prevent blood clotting, reducing the risk of stroke or heart attack. However, they can also increase bleeding risk, making them a key consideration in insurance risk assessment, especially in surgical procedures or accident claims. Source: G000715. Medications and their effects. Why do insurers use databases like MIMS or MedSafeNZ? A. To file client complaints with regulators. B. To diagnose clients with unknown conditions. C. To reference accurate drug information and medical terminology. D. To determine the price of life insurance policies. The correct answer is C. To reference accurate drug information and medical terminology. Explanation. MIMS Monthly Index of Medical Specialties and MedSafeNZ provide verified up-to-date information on medications, dosages, interactions, and uses. These resources are used by underwriters and claims personnel to interpret prescriptions and assess risk based on the client's medical treatment. Source: G000715. Use of technology in medical databases. Which of the following best describes the role of a specialist in the insurance process? A. A legal expert who verifies claim amounts. B. A medical professional who provides detailed reports for complex conditions. C. A customer service agent for health insurance firms. D. A technician who manages electronic medical records. The correct answer is B. A medical professional who provides detailed reports for complex conditions. Explanation. A specialist, e.g., cardiologist, oncologist, neurologist, is often consulted by insurers when a client's condition requires expert assessment. They provide detailed reports that help underwriters make informed decisions about coverage, exclusions, or claim approvals. Communication with specialists must be handled and respectfully, often requiring client consent. What is the primary purpose of a colonoscopy? A. To assess kidney function using contrast dye. B. To view the lining of the colon and rectum for abnormalities. C. To repair a damaged heart valve. D. To scan the brain for signs of a stroke. The correct answer is B. To view the lining of the colon and rectum for abnormalities. Explanation. A colonoscopy is a diagnostic procedure that uses a flexible camera colonoscope to visually examine the inside of the large intestine. It's commonly used to detect polyps, tumors, inflammation, or bleeding, especially for cancer screening. Insurance professionals may see this in medical reports tied to gastrointestinal disorders or cancer-related. Why might an insurer contact a general practitioner (GP) during the underwriting process? A. To conduct financial suitability checks. B. To obtain a detailed report on the client's medical history. C. To approve the client's insurance policy. D. To arrange legal representation for the applicant. The correct answer is B. To obtain a detailed report on the client's medical history. Explanation. GP general practitioner often holds the most complete overview of clients' medical history, including diagnoses, treatments, referrals, and medications. Insurers may request GP report with client consent to clarify disclosed medical conditions or investigate undisclosed health risks during underwriting or claims assessment. What is the primary reason insurers use electronic health records? A. In the underwriting and claims process. A. To access accurate and timely medical information securely. B. To allow clients to modify their health history online. C. To calculate the financial value of premiums automatically. D. To substitute the need for client consent in urgent cases. The correct answer is A. To access accurate and timely medical information securely. Explanation. Electronic health records (AIs) provide insurers with up-to-date, comprehensive medical data that helps them make informed decisions in underwriting and claims assessment. These records are accessed with client consent and are stored securely to comply with privacy laws. Their use supports efficiency, accuracy, and ethical information handling.